everybody, and welcome to my watercolour painting of Captain America. Probably my most favourite of Marvel superheroes, next to Iron Man. I've been waiting a while to paint him, but I wanted to get good at watercolour before I had a go. And it turned out pretty good, so I thought I'd show everyone on YouTube what I've done as a time lapse. This is my first voiceover, so I apologise if I make any mistakes or how I sound. Here you can see me laying down the foundation for the skin and the helmet using a reddish Naples yellow mixed with alizarin crimson and cerulean blue. And for the helmet, I've used Payne's grey mixed with white to create a light grey to start off as a foundation. And eventually I'll be hitting it with a straight Payne's grey because it's a great bluey black. And obviously Captain America's suit is a dark blue, well, depending on the lighting. As you can see from how I'm doing things, the light source is coming from his left hand side, so I've left the paper white until I decide whether or not I'm going to paint that really light grey in. And now you can see I'm adding detail to the eyes. And this is where, whenever you add details to the eyes in any piece of artwork, any portrait, the image pops off the page. Now I'm getting darker and darker. You can see I spent a long time on this eye because I had a certain vision in my head how I wanted it to be, and there's lots of heavy shadow in that eye, and I was lifting paint off, adding paint into it, lifting it off again. I just wasn't satisfied whatsoever, but eventually I got it how I wanted it. And the problem was, after I had to imitate that on the bottom half of the face where the skin is. As you can see, I'm basically keep painting in that Payne's grey. The blacker I get, the more the eyes pop. Especially on his left eye pops because the contrast, the value is so different from where the shadow is. It makes the eye pop. And this is what I was talking about the skin, how I've got to mimic what I've done with the eye. But I wasn't liking it, so I wanted to come up with like a purpley Payne's grey, and it wasn't happening. I discovered it by accident when I painted it on the lips as a tester, and it was too red, so I had a bit more cerulean blue, and I got it how I wanted it. And you should see that in a moment. I'm still adding the Payne's grey. There's a lot of Payne's grey going into the making of Captain America. I don't think I've got any left. But like I say, it's a great colour for his suit. And there's the red I used for his lips, which was meant to be the shadow side of his face. And as you can see, the shadow side of his face now is like a purpley colour, which blends in really well with the Payne's grey and his helmet. But now I have to add this into the eye at the top because the colour difference, it wouldn't suit it, so you have to make everything look like it's meant to be. I'm still getting on that eye, I'm still not satisfied. It's still in that straight Payne's grey, heavily pigmented Payne's grey. Such a good colour to use instead of black. because black is too much sometimes on these drawings. It's just off black and it works perfect. Just creating the highlight on his strap so it stands out. I mean, all his suit is Payne's grey, all of it. Just, it's more of the wash of Payne's grey underneath makes it light, and then heavy Payne's grey on top. In the background I've used alizarin crimson and another Prussian, I think it's Prussian blue, as a wash, and then slowly as they dry add more and more, getting darker and darker, more pigmented. I wanted it darker on his left because that's where the light source is coming from. It'll make that side pop even more. And obviously getting darker towards the helmet and lighter as it spreads out. There you go. That's about as dark as I went. In a moment you'll see where I make a mistake and decide to, it's at the bottom of the drawing, and I decide to lift it all off. And it turned out quite nice, so I left it as it was. Kind of had a painterly look to it. There you go. Well guys, my painting of Captain America is about to come to an end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to paint more Marvel characters in the future, and DC. Maybe some gaming characters as well. So please do come back and watch more. Thanks again.